You have a special talent for getting coaches to stand out. What is it that you're doing?
Obviously, it's all about your niche, who you serve, what the problem is that you solve, and the tangible outcome that you deliver to clients.
Can you give me an example of a really good outcome that a life coach that you're working with has?
There's only really 4 categories that people spend their money on, like their disposable income on: wealth, career, health, and relationships. What you don't hear in those 4 is just life. My videos don't get a ton of reach. However, they are the thing that people will comment about the most. They're like, I saw your video, I saw you in this video, I saw the video. So it stays in their mind way longer. That is the key.
Coaches are the number one most saturated market on LinkedIn. You have a special talent for getting coaches to stand out on this platform and helping them to differentiate themselves. What is it that you're doing to help these coaches differentiate themselves on this platform?
Man, you go to people's profiles and it's just like, immediately you leave the profile because you have no idea what the person does. Even today, someone was like, told me in the DMs, like, oh my God, your messaging is so clear. Like, I know exactly what you do. And I'm like, like chef's kiss, like I've done it. Well, it hasn't always been that way. It takes time. There's a couple things. So obviously it's all about your niche, like who you serve, what the problem is that you solve, and the tangible outcome that you deliver to clients. All 3 of those are problematic for people, right? Because the who, they're like, well, I could work with anyone. I could work with men. I could work with women. I could work with, of course, we could all work with lots of people, but who is going to believe you fastest, right? Who is going to trust you the fastest? And for those 2 categories, that is going to be a version of yourself that you have been in the past, right? So I'll take myself as an example. I was in tech sales. All of my niches have always been tech salespeople, and typically leaders, because that was the last role that I had when I was in sales. Like, I'm not targeting an SDR, like an entry level salesperson, because like I wasn't an SDR. So my niche has always been around sales leaders. Why? Because they're immediately going to relate to me. Immediately, we're going to have like battle stories and war stories that we could chop it up together with. Like, there's already this familiarity that's going to be there, and because there's that resonance there already, there's a level of trust, right? It's like, think about, you go to a party and someone's like, you're a sales guy too. If someone's like, oh, I'm in sales, like already you're gonna be like, oh yeah, cool. We're gonna get along, we're gonna have stuff to talk about, right? But if someone's like, I'm an aerospace engineer, cool, like I don't know what to ask you. you know like, I don't know what your everyday life looks like. Now your brain's like, oh, this is going to be hard. Versus when you meet someone that has had the same job, like in the same industry, your brain's like, oh, like I'm at peace, like I'm at ease, because this is going to be easier. Then it's the problem that niche has, that who has, right? So what is a problem that a sales leader has? There's many, which is also the problem, because people are like, well, they have lots of problems. But it's about, what is the problem that you know how to uniquely solve? And why do you know how to uniquely solve it? Because you had that problem in the past and you've solved it for yourself in the past, or you've helped other people solve it many times over. So now it's like, which problem to pick? Well, you pick the one that you have the most evidence in, the most experience in, and the most confidence in. Because again, that is going to make you show up differently. You show up, clear, right? Because if you have confidence, you're gonna be able to talk about that problem really clearly. Now, the hardest part, I think, for people, you tell me, with your clients, is the outcome. Most people want to say something fluffy because they're afraid of saying something direct, and tangible and specific. Because then they think, oh my God, if they don't get that result, they're going to think I'm a scam, or like, they're going to be mad. They're going to be upset with the coaching. And that is understandable, of course. However, there is no guarantees in life. Like, you could get a surgery and it still doesn't guarantee that whatever you're trying to fix is going to be fixed. And anyone that sees, like, I help people get 150K jobs and is like, oh, this is 100% going to happen if I sign on for this coaching, like, that's delusional too. There are so many steps that are out of the coach's control. They can give you all the tools and all the resources and, all the skills. You still have to go implement them. The coach isn't doing it for you. And so that's what coaches really get scared about, is like having some kind of specific outcome feels like a guarantee in their mind. And it's like, dude, there is no guarantee. And I say that to my clients all the time. And you have to
Totally.
have that ability to say, like, that confidence to be able to say that.
And that confidence comes from your sales experience, basically.
The amount of at-bats that I've had to have these types of conversations is astronomical, which is also why I love working with ex-salespeople that want to become coaches, because I'm like, you have a skill set, my friend, that is going to help you tremendously. It's no surprise that my clients that are ex-salespeople tend to do the best.
So you and I kind of laugh over some of the vague titles and outcomes that people talk about, like confidence and clarity and all these things, right? Like, which are essentially kind of like buzzwords or whatever, right? So these are, terms that I kind of associate to, I guess, life coaches, right? And given the fact that you were essentially somewhat of a life coach yourself before you went to like specifically focus in on LinkedIn, how do you help these people come up with these outcomes? Like, can you give me an example of a really good outcome that a life coach that you're working with has that is converting for them? Because I haven't seen too many good ones.
There's like a principle in business where that says there's only really 4 categories that people spend their money on, like their disposable income on, right? It's wealth, career, health, and relationships. And, you think of some of the biggest industries in the world, right? Like the health industry and how much people spend on, getting healthy and fit and supplements and all the things, like that's how Hormozy made all of his money in the fitness industry, right? Like wealth, like, I mean, the amount of people that, are working with financial advisors and like doing things to make money and passive income and all that kind of stuff. And then relationships, like most important thing for most people, like people want to either get in one or not lose the one that they have. And then career, obviously, like LinkedIn is the career platform. That's where everyone is trying to get a job. So those are the 4 outcomes that people pay money for. And what you don't hear in those 4 is just life. You got to put it into one of those categories. If I am working with more of a life coach person, right, which I have been, which I think, gosh, thank God I was, right? Because if I was just like a LinkedIn person from the beginning, I would have no credibility, right? And I wouldn't be able to help people.
And you would also have no patience for them either. That's another thing.
That too, yeah. But I also, like, I wouldn't have any credibility in the sense of like, oh, like you've always just sold something with an outcome, so you don't get it. It's like, no. I sold for 3 years a fluffy outcome, like it can still work. The how to make it work is you need to relate it to one of those 4 categories. Which one of those 4 is your life coaching going to impact the most? Listen, it's probably going to impact all of them, of course, right? That's where like life coaches get tripped up, is like, they're like, but it's everything. And it's like, no, I get that. But for marketing, it can't be everything. Like the coaching can be for everything. That's fine. But how you market it is very different, right? So in the marketing sense of it, it has to fit into one of those categories. Pick one to go to market with, to like brand yourself as. Because of course, listen, if you're working on your limiting beliefs and all that kind of stuff, of course that's going to affect you in your relationships and at work. No question. Like you are the same person in both of those things. For people to get their credit card out and pay you money for something, they want an outcome. They don't just want, oh, you're going to have less limiting beliefs. Like, okay, what am I going to do with that? Right? Like, what would my life look like if I had less limiting beliefs? And so pick one. So maybe it's in your career. Well, if you had less limiting beliefs, you'd get promoted. You'd ask for a raise. All the inner work stuff and like the, more woo stuff that life coaches do, of course, have impact and outcome in those 4 categories. So they just have to pick one that they're going to like go to like brand themselves as. This is the hard part. They don't want to do that. And then it's like, okay, well then you're not going to have a business.
What you just described to me, it is the best concept that I have seen around helping these people figure out how the fuck to promote themselves. Because I look at those people and I'm like, man, it is really hard to market yourself because there is a million of you. It's not really clear as to like what it is that you do. But if
why you're good at it.
Yeah, right. And if you're in picking one of these areas that is impactful, that one of these areas that causes people to take action, you just gave the ultimate unlock for that niche.
Whenever I'm working with people on their niche and we're humming and hawing, we're going back and forth and this and that because of people are resisting it because it's scary. Whenever I ask that question of those 4 categories, which one, you cannot pick 2, you have to pick one. Which one is it? That's always what finally like lands the plane for them, is like, oh, fuck, okay.
There is a perception about how people think that they are going to make money on LinkedIn, right? Like they think that they're going to post content and that content is going to bring inbound leads and they are going to make
not
money.
Just that, with their credit card like ready to pay.
Yes, people are going to come with their credit card out.
Yeah.
Just being like,
how can I pay
yes, please. And they're going to do it. And it's your first or second post is going to do it too, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. By number 4, you're famous.
What is the real way? Like, what do people really need to do to make money on LinkedIn? Because we know it's not just posting and then hoping that people come with their credit cards out.
Tony Robbins doesn't have 100% close rate. You know what I mean? Like, people still show up to Tony Robbins stuff and don't buy Tony Robbins. Even the best of the best, like, it takes them effort and branding and marketing and all this stuff. Like, you're gonna have to put some more effort in here, right? For people to like really take notice. So the easiest way that I can describe this is a triangle. There's a base and there's a wide base because there needs to be a solid foundation and then the tip. So at the base of that triangle is your niche and your offer, which are inextricable, right? Once you know your niche, then you kind of know your offer, right? Like the niche dictates the offer. Then you have to create an offer where that actually not guarantees, but improves the likelihood and time that it's going to take for that person to get that outcome, right? So group coaching, one-on-one coaching, workbooks, whatever it is, that then dictates the next layer of the triangle, which is your content. I think people start with content without even knowing what their niche is. I've had people message me too. They're like, oh, I'm writing content and I'm hoping that it works. I'm like, about what? Oh, just about myself and my life and things that happen. I'm like, right. Cool. Like, again, no one's like waiting with their credit card on the other side of LinkedIn being like, who can I pay today? Right? If anything, now with AI, I'm sure you've seen this, is like their guards are up, man. I'll connect with someone and sometimes they'll be like, please don't try to sell me anything. Like the first message they say to me, I haven't even said like hello yet. And they're just like, please don't try to sell me anything. And I'm like, trust me, wasn't planning on it, but got it. See where you're at, And so people's guards are up. It's not that they have their credit cards up. So we start with niche and offer that dictates your content. Literally write your content with one person in mind. That person being your ideal client. Imagine someone in your life that you would love to work with, that you know how to help. Imagine you are writing it for that person. The reason why is because when we think about writing for a large audience, the way that we write sucks. Because we're trying to be like more general and hope that it resonates with more people. But imagine you were writing like a letter to a buddy. The way you would write that letter is going to be so different than if you were addressing 1,000 people. And the addressing 1,000 people is the content that gets no likes because it's boring and basically ChatGPT could write it anyways. But if you were writing for one person in mind, your content is going to slap. It's going to feel to the audience like you were speaking to me because that's how you intended it. You were speaking to one person. The layer on top of that is the lead magnet. The big thing with LinkedIn is there's tons of lurkers. There's people that will like your shit and comment on your shit. You'll start to see it's kind of the same people. You kind of get into these like self-forming pods, not real pods. And they're not buying from you, right? And you're like, well, now what do I do? Because it's the same fucking people that are liking my shit and commenting on my shit, but they're not buying from me. So like, now what do I do? If you look at the discrepancy between your impressions and how many likes you get, it's a huge discrepancy. It's like 10x, 20x, 30x sometimes. So what about all those people? Right. You know what I mean? Like I would pay to see like who specifically saw this post.
Yo, I just wanted to take a very quick break in the action here because I just realized something crazy. 85% of the people that are watching our videos on YouTube are not subscribed. This is what happens when you actually get smart people to look into your analytics. So if you are enjoying this content and you want more practical advice and tips on how to grow your brand and your business with video, please hit the subscribe button I do truly appreciate it. Secondly, if you are a founder and expert who really understands how important video is to grow your business, but you don't have time to mess around with cameras, write scripts, do video editing, or blow your entire budget on a fancy film crew, that's exactly what we help with at Video on Easy Mode. You are literally watching how it works in this episode right now. We make it easy to create high quality, natural video content to help you grow your business and grow your brand without leaving the comfort of your home or office. So if this sounds like something that your business can use right now, either scan the QR code or hit the link in the description. It's all remote. All you got to do is show up to a virtual studio, hang out with me for about an hour, and you're going to get a month's worth of videos. And let's get back into the interview. Actually, they are giving like a little bit of that away now, because if you go to a particular post, it shows like people that viewed my profile since this post. That post is like what got them to click on your profile. It's a little small sample, but like we're getting to that point where it makes it a little bit better. But you need to invest in premium.
Yeah.
But again, like if you're investing in LinkedIn as the primary platform where you intend on getting all of your clients from, then you should invest in premium.
The reason I brought up the lurkers is because we need the lurkers to present themselves to us. So the lead magnet is what gets them to actually raise their hand and say, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Early on, like my content was a lot about like leaving the corporate world. I mean, it still is, right? And you think corporate people are going to like my content about leaving the corporate world when they have a corporate job? I need to get those people to feel comfortable to raise their hand in a private setting, essentially, right? Because no one's going to see that they signed up for my lead magnet. Someone's going to see if they like my post, though. The lead magnet is to get the lurkers to show themselves, because now, and they've showed some kind of interest, right? They're not just aware of you, they're actually now potentially interested in you. So my favorite types of lead magnets are live experiences. Reason for that is nobody trusts anything on LinkedIn anymore, especially because it's a written platform. Now, thanks to you, it's more of a video platform, but it's supposed to be a written platform. And now written content is less trustworthy because, of course, AI could have written it. So people's guards are up, people's trust is low. And especially with coaching being like the number one, profession right now on LinkedIn, other than just being an employee, we need to build trust with our audience, right? And so being live with them, this is also why videos work, because it feels like you're almost live with someone and you can see them intonate and, all these weird gestures that I'm making, right? Like that's me, not the clickety clackety on a laptop. So they get to feel your vibe, they get to feel your energy, and they get to test, am I down with this type of energy and vibe, or is this not for me? Because coaching is a relationship. You're entering into a relationship with someone for an amount of time, right? I usually work with people for 90 days, like 3 months of your life. I'm going to see you multiple times a week. I don't see any of my friends multiple times a week, right? Like this is a big investment. It's a commitment to someone. I need to know if I like them. I need to know if I'm going to vibe with them. I need to know if they're going to annoy me. Like I need to know all of that. And most of all, I need to know if I'm going to trust them. People do quizzes and it's garbage. Nobody cares about a quiz. A quiz is not going to compel someone and inspire someone to want to work with you. But being live with you in a room, if you fucking nail it, definitely inspires people to want to work with you. I mean, I have tons of examples that I can give. And so then what happens from that live experience is the tip of the triangle, which is your sales, like your conversion. After the live experience, I push people to a sales call. Some people, are like, anti-sales calls takes too much time. I will do sales calls for the rest of my life because I want to know if I want to work with you.
I'm in the same boat. A lot of people, hey, could we close this person without sales calls? It's like, yes, you have the ability to do so. However, it doesn't give you the opportunity to get to know that person and feel like they're somebody that you want to invest your own time into.
My precious time on this universe? Like, exactly, right? Like, it's a relationship I have to enter into. Do I want to spend it with you? Am I going to dread every time I see you on my calendar? So I know people are just like, chat, just do it through chat. I'm like, no.
You, in the past, have run a $150 boot camp. You'll do it for that.
Yeah.
There are opportunities where you can have a conversation with people in messaging, but if you are going to have a relationship like coaching or like what I do where I film with people, so I need to understand like can I get the best out of this person on camera? And I need to be able to speak with them and have a conversation and feel them out in order for me to know that. So the sales call is more about me, vetting out the person that I want to work with versus them trying to, determine whether they want to work with me. Because most of the people that get on the sales calls, they're already sold.
You're not sold yet. Maybe people are like, oh, maybe for Alli and Danny, that's the case. People just want to work with AO, right? Like, but it's not true. Like, even back in my imposter syndrome days when I wasn't as, LinkedIn famous or whatever, right? Like, it was still, people still wanted to really work with me. And it was still about me deciding if I really wanted to work with them. There's got to be chemistry. There's got to be a vibe. I mean, again, especially for what you do. So yeah, the tip is sales, and the sales call is for you to vet if you want to work with them.
Let's kind of close out with a couple like hot takes on like what you see that is working or not working on LinkedIn right now. I'm going to give like a couple rapid fire. Selfies, yes or no? Why do they work for you? Why do they not work?
People want to see your face, for sure. That's why video works, right? Like, who are you? Like, what do you look like? At the end of the day, we're all judgmental. I'm sure we all have seen that if you are a very pretty girl, selfies work even more.
People are blessed with good looks, right?
For sure.
It also takes effort to maintain good looks as well. So, you got to eat right. You got to exercise. You got to do all the things. You got to dress well. You got to do makeup. Like, these people have earned the ability to do that, right? It's not just a complete like, yes, you have a gift.
If you're doing fitness stuff, I mean, you are the product. But if you're a leadership, like I have a lot of CEO clients right now, right? And they're like, oh my God, I'm not doing the fucking selfie thing. And I'm like, absolutely not. Yeah, you shouldn't do the selfie thing. You are a freaking CEO and have made 7 figures a year for the last 10 years of your life. You're not taking selfies. That's weird.
So basically what you're saying is the better thing for the CEO obviously to do is to put themselves out on video, because that's the way that they can get their face and their voice out there.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Right. AI on LinkedIn. When do you use it? When do you not use it? Give me the 1-minute spiel on AI for you.
Okay. Like full-on AI generated commenters, absolutely not. Like complete X, they are so bad, and everyone can tell from a mile away that it's an AI generated comment. Full-on AI posts, also absolutely not. Emojis, the dash, the rhetorical questions, all AI. No one is buying it. Where I will use AI is like, I'm trying to makes what I'm saying more concise. Like, okay, this is getting to be a run-on sentence in this one post. Help me say this more concisely. Let it enhance what you're doing, like tighten it up. Don't use it as like your kind of client-facing persona. Every comment you make, if it's an AI comment, people are going to literally start tuning you out and hating you. If your posts all sound like AI, no one is going to believe you, and no one is going to think you're an authority, because everyone's like, that's fucking AI. AI is just a tool to enhance. It's not your like forward-facing thing. And if you're doing it to like save time, I mean, dude, you gotta like reprioritize things, because there's definitely other ways where you could be saving time that are not going to hurt your brand.
Video.
This is a setup. This is
it's a setup if I ever saw one. No, seriously, no. Give me your honest take.
Yes, clearly LinkedIn is saying that they're going to go more the video route. To me, video is a mini live experience. Video is like them getting to almost experience you a little bit live. My videos don't get a ton of reach, despite like what LinkedIn is saying about the algorithm. It's like total bullshit. However, they are the thing that people will comment about the most, in the sense of, to me personally. When I talk to someone, they're like, oh, and I saw the video and this and that. I have no idea what video they're talking about, because there's been so many, right? But the video, like videos in general, is what people comment on the most when they're actually talking to me. They're like, I saw your video. I saw you in this video. I saw the video. So it stays in their mind way longer. That is the key. It's not about, is it going to get me more reach or this and that? You are going to have more staying power in people's minds, because it's a visual thing, right? Like, you read a book, you don't remember what you read on the page. You watch the movie, you remember what you saw in the movie, though.
I gave you the alley-oop and you slammed it down. Yeah. I love it.
You can use some of that if you want it.
What is your thoughts on the whole virality thing on LinkedIn?
Listen, I have friends that make viral content. I respect them and the whole thing. And some of them are bangers, I will say. There are some that I'm like, ooh, that actually fucking does hit. You know, like that's like a one-liner that I'm gonna like copy paste and like keep that in the bank. I'm just gonna talk about cheat sheets for a second. I can't stand them. They're so small. I'm just like, what does it say? Like, what is happening? It's just like generalized crap. Like, it's never that good. It's been boggling my mind why they became so popular.
Oh, I could tell you exactly why they're so popular.
Tell me.
Because everybody is looking for the
The hack.
easy route.
The hack.
The
Yeah.
easy route. So like to have all your frameworks and all your systems and all your plug and play templates in one freaking page is the ultimate, like, I want to shortcut everything in my life because I live in an on-demand world. That is the ultimate reason. That is the ultimate thing. The cheat sheet embodies all of the things that you do not want in the people that you want to work with. Now that's a fucking clip. That's a clip. That one's going on freaking tomorrow. I'm gonna get.
That is so good. That is like 100% true. Exactly. Everyone, like, in this one thing, I have found the cheat code that is gonna unlock my entire business. And you're like, no, it's not.
It embodies all of the worst things about about our social media world. Right there is the cheat sheet.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God, you nailed it. That's exactly it. Anyone that's like, I love a cheat sheet, it's like, red flag, we're not working together. Well, it's like, it's just an indication they don't want to do the real work.
Exactly. That's the person that is looking for a shortcut. 100%. All right, Alli, this was awesome. I love hanging out with you. We got to do this more.
We're going to do it live one day.
Yeah, we're going to do it live. Let's ask the people right now. So if you and I were to host a live event, maybe like a 2-day mastermind presentation.
Yeah, we dig into niche, a little content. We dig into offer, we do some videos together. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna make it a cool experience. If you would be down for that, drop us a note in the comments. Let me know what you would like to see from that event. What kind of things that you would like us to do. Alli and I share a lot of clients together. I help with the content side. She helps with the strategy side. It's kind of a natural progression, natural partnership that we have here. And I appreciate it, Alli, for sure.
Same.
So,
also, let us know what city do you want us to do it in?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, give a couple good options. All right.
Yeah. Or East Coasters. So just know that.
Yeah, East Coast. Keep it East Coast so we don't have to travel too far, but all good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you,
awesome,
Alli, and
thank you.
We'll do this again.